indictment. All right. So the grand jury charges that at all relevant times in this indictment, defendant Kavan, known as Vani. All right, let's go through that. They were members and associates of an organization called Only the Family, or OTF, which, among other things, produced and sold hip-hop music from artists primarily from the Chicago, Illinois area. Defendants Keith Jones, Flocka, and David Brian Lindsay, a.k.a. Brown Eyes, were members of other gangs in Illinois. In and about November 6, 2020, a high-ranking OTF member, that's clearly Vaughn, got in an altercation with TB, which is Taekwon Bowman, which is TB is going to be, anytime we see TB, just say that's Quando, at a nightclub in Atlanta, Georgia. During the fight, an associate of TB, Lil Tim, pulled out a gun and shot DB. Okay? DB is Davon Banks, a.k.a. King Von, multiple times killing him. After the murder, co-conspirator 1. Now, this is, we're going to see this name. They don't put a name, but they put co-conspirator 1. I think this is them talking about Durk. Just me, you know. And by the way, nobody should be saying I'm being federal or nothing like that. Bruh, they're spelling the shit out. I'm going to tell you why I think it's Durk. That's co-conspirator 1. It said co-conspirator 1 made clear in coded language that co-conspirator 1 would pay a bounty or monetary reward and or make payment to anyone who took part in the killing of Taekwon Bowman, a.k.a. Quando, for his role in DB's murder, which is Davon Bennett, a.k.a. King Von. On or about August 18th, the co-conspirator learned that Taekwon Bowman, Quando, was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. As alleged accounts 1 and 2, after learning of Quando's location, the defendants, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2, so now we get introduced co-conspirator 2, traveled from Chicago, Illinois to Los Angeles, California for the purpose of murdering Taekwon Bowman, a.k.a. Quando Rondo. On the same date, August 18th, defendant Grant was also traveled. Wow, they sent one of the shooters by private jet? What the hell? Also traveled by private jet to Los Angeles. As alleged in counts 1 and 2, on August 19, 2022, defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 used 2 vehicles, which, by the way, it seems like they got to charge co-conspirator 2, right? If they, I'm going to tell you why I think there's co-conspirators. So number one, I believe Durk is co-conspirator 1. Co-conspirator 2 is not Durk. Clearly, he wouldn't be listed as 2 different co-conspirators. But I believe they're waiting on these guys to snitch. Now, granted, and I feel like I'm spoiling what I was going to say at the end. If this goes down kind of like how we seen with the O Block 6 or whatever, was it O Block 5 or whatever, the ones who killed Duck, nobody snitches. And if they don't snitch, I don't know if they have anything to tie or get Durk indicted. Like, they're going to need a snitch. And if these guys just stand tall, and even if they get life or whatever it is, they just stand tall and take whatever they get, and no one tells on Durk, Durk might be okay. Otherwise, this is kind of odd they're naming these co-conspirators without indicting them, right? You would want to indict these guys because, if anything, these guys are really responsible for the murder. The shooters are one thing, right? It's like Big Jook in the Young Dolph case. The shooters are one thing, but the guys who are really responsible for the murder is the one who says, yo, I got 50,000 on his head. And then the other guy that says, I bet I'm going to book the flights and then I'm going to do this. That's the people you really want to get. But it might be impossible at the moment to get them, right? So clearly they lock these guys up. They're probably going to try to get somebody to flip. If everybody stays solid, you know they're going to threaten them. You're never going to get out. We're going to seek the death penalty. They got to cap a little bit. You know, I imagine lawyers are going to get paid for. But I do think that they're hoping somebody cooperates here to probably figure out if they could get these co-conspirators, because otherwise, why not just indict the co-conspirators? Now, they could indict them at any time. We all know what's a superseding indictment that could come, but they're clearly not trying to let people know. And by the way, anybody involved in this knows who they're talking about, right? We're the fans. We only know what we're told, so we're going to have to make up who we think this is. So co-conspirator 2 is with them in Cali. He goes to Cali, supposedly, to oversee this process of killing Quando Rondo. They used 2 vehicles to track, stalk, attempt to kill Quando by gunfire, including using, so they had a switch, you know what I mean? Put that switch on for me, okay? Damn. All right, cool. So these are the charges here. This is the object of the conspiracy. So beginning in a day unknown, but no later than around August 18, and continuing to about August 19th in LA County, these defendants and co-conspirators, known and unknown, conspired and agreed with each other knowingly, used the facilities of interstate. So they're proving why it's a federal charge. These guys use highways that were federal highways, and essentially pretty much you put it in their jurisdiction. They're saying that co-conspirator, the means by which the object of the conspiracy was supposed to be accomplished. The object of the conspiracy was to be accomplished in substance as follows. Co-conspirator 1, who again I think is Durk, would place bounties on individuals that he and other OTF member wanted to kill, including Taekwon Bobin, which is Quando Rondo. As part of the bounty, co-conspirators, known and unknown, including defendant Wilson, would pay anyone who took part of the killing of Taekwon Bobin and or reward individuals with lucrative music opportunities. Okay, co-conspirators, known and unknown, including the defendant Wilson, would recruit others. So now we're hearing that Wilson was a recruiter, and he recruited defendants Jones, Lindsay, and Houston. Now let me go back to this. Oh, I gotta find their real names again. So whoever Wilson is a big name. He seems like the guy. You know, I don't know why I keep comparing it to the Young Dolph situation. That might be the middleman damn near, right? You know, that's the guy who's there to get the hitters going on. So Wilson would recruit others, including defendants Jones, Lindsay, and Houston. Co-conspirator 2 would and he recruited co-conspirator 2. Oh, never mind. So this guy Wilson, let me go back up and we're gonna circle his name. To understand this indictment, we got to know the players. So Wilson is Dontrell Wilson, which is Dee. Okay, so Dontrell Wilson, which is, I believe, OTF Dee, right? OTF Dee. This is the individual that the police are claiming was the recruiter of everybody else in the murder. So they're essentially saying, so let's go down. Co-conspirator 1, who I think is Durk, but we don't know, would say, I got money on these niggas' heads. Then he would tell essentially Wilson, which is Dee, to go recruit others to basically go get the niggas clapped, okay? Defendant Grant would get cars. So now we hear Grant. So Grant is, let's get back to the names. So we know who's a recruiter. Yeah, this is this racketeering? I don't know if we see racketeering, but this sounds like racketeering. Okay, they does have conspiracy for murder, but yeah, well, by the way, you see what this says? June 2024. The grand jury, gave this indictment in 2020 in June. So they've been had this indictment. This indictment didn't just come out; it just got unsealed. So they've been had this indictment. Who knows if it got officially presented or it probably got it. Well, it wasn't unsealed, maybe because the feds was working other angles, definitely. But remember, look, 2024 grand jury. When the grand jury convenes, they come back with what's called a no bill or a true bill. A no bill means you don't have enough to indict, so no charges. And usually the feds just let it go unless they find some big significant new lead. And not only feds, but state. If they come back with an indictment, it means that you could go, once it's presented and then unsealed, if it's sealed, you could get, usually the court will grant arrest warrants for these people. You get what I'm saying? So they had this from June 2024. That's very important to know. Okay, so cool. So London Grant. So OTF, is somebody named Cuz? OTF Cuz? Or OTF Vonnie? OTF Cuz. Who's that? I don't know who that is. OTF Vonnie. Whoever OTF Vonnie is, I mean, obviously, I think he's one of the pictures we showed before. Whoever OTF Vonnie is, he was getting the car. So we're not finding out some stuff about this, right? So essentially, OTF Dee, he goes to get the shooters. OTF Vonnie, he was supposed to go get the cars, right? So Wilson was to recruit the other niggas. Grant was supposed to get the cars, ski mask, Had to get the switches. You know, you got to get the switches. You know what's so funny? And I know, again, I'm not being federal, Chad. Actually, this is a federal charge, but still. Lil Durk crazy story. You ever heard Lil Durk on Crazy Story? I love Durk on Crazy Story. Durk comes and he said, I got a drop on a rapping nigga. I be from the rack. I'm like, cool, bet not front your move before you become a pack. You see Vaughn, you see 40 Glocks, you see Buka, you see Mac. Yeah, free Mac going for a double homie. Phone him got your back, but fuck that. You say you smoking who? Quickest way to die. Snatch you chain off who neck, not mine. Ain't no point in trying. They not out, but the police hot. Ain't no point in sliding. They be talking from the internet. They don't be outside. Hit the 6, call Dada out. Tell him about a lick. This what it remind me of. We need tape. We need rope and phones. Don't forget the Blix. That sounds pretty good. So, hey, Chad, don't it sound like this? Yo, it's crazy. It do hit different when the music is in an indictment, right? Like, or damn near. Defendant Grant would get the ropes and phones, and he didn't forget the Blix. Right? That's exactly what they're saying. He would procure all the shit. They say, yo, we need tape, we need rope and phones. Don't forget the Blix. Shit. All right, fuck. So Defendant Grant would get the cars, ski mask, firearms that would be used by the co-conspirators to find and track and kill Quando using a credit card associated with OTF. Oh my God. You can't use the business card. Please, come on now. Please. No business cards for the murder. We can't do this. Chat, we can't use the business credit card for the murder. Yo, if I gotta tell y'all not to swipe the business Amex for the murder, like this is gonna be a problem. We got bigger problems. Did you swipe the business? Yo, if you still worried about, oh, this is a tax deduction. Let me get this. We're gonna write this motherfucking car off right here. We're gonna write. Oh, y'all niggas wanna fly first class for the murder? I bet we're gonna write this murder. Yo, what? We can't be thinking about writing off the murders. You can't get motherfucking, you can't swipe the credit card, the business credit card for the murder. Okay. Using a credit card associated with OTF, co-conspirator 3, now they're bringing somebody else. Okay. So now we find out that, so co-conspirator 2 is the person who look like he's kind of a middleman. All right, so I'm trying to keep y'all up. Co-conspirator 1 tells them, yo, I want him clapped, and him clapped, okay? Co-conspirator 2 got recruited by OTF Didi. By the way, these are all allegations, so please, I'm not snitching. This is all allegations. I'm only know what's being read. Co-conspirator 2 is being recruited by OTF Didi, okay? Who recruits all the shooters and everybody who's going to be gang for this murder. Co-conspirator 3 comes in because he has the credit card to do the booking. So he's the booker. So he knows how to get the plane tickets. All right, buddy, before you go kill Quando Rondo, do you want a window seat or you want an aisle? You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck they're saying. You want a window seat or you want an aisle seat? Okay. Got you an aisle seat, man. You want to get the in-flight Wi-Fi? I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but okay. So co-conspirator 3 is using the OTF credit card to purchase airplane tickets. What the fuck? This is some shit. Like, to this day, I'm flabbergasted that Young Thug went to Hertz and be like, hey, I want to rent a car. Okay, we'll give you the Nissan. All right, Woody, take this car. Go kill that nigga nut. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who does that? Like, come on. Anyway, so use an OTF credit card. That's the thing about hood niggas, too. Hood niggas never got real credit cards in their own name. So you give them a business credit card, they use that shit for everything, right? Anyway, co-conspirator 3, he's the guy who has the credit card. Cool. He would purchase airplane tickets for the co-conspirators to fly out to California and murder Quando Rondo. Defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirator 2, remember Wilson recruited all of them, will travel from Chicago, Illinois to Southern California via airplane to find, track, and kill Taekwon Bowman. So they're saying the feds believe that they were only there to kill Quando Rondo. Defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and conspirator 2, also co-conspirator 2, remember he was recruited, would travel throughout Los Angeles County. Now, co-conspirator 2, if you ask me, sounds like someone who might be a local to LA. Someone who knows how to move around, someone who's, like, who could probably get the drop, if you get what I'm saying. Because all these other guys seem really in the OTF universe, but Co-Conspirator 2 might not be, right? That might change if we find out that Co-Conspirator 2 talks to 1 or 3. So 1 is